Cool guys. So ELINT introduction done. Basics of electronics are applied to electronic intelligence also done. Let's talk about cool things now. What do you think? Here we have module 3. We will be diving into real product, real solution, and ultimately real platforms where electronic intelligence equipment are typically installed. Module 3, lectures 7, 8, and 9. Honestly, these are real interesting, real cool lectures since we are moving a bit from the theory in order to focus on real world environments using some real examples, aircraft, satellites, ground stations. Okay, for example. Moreover, several sensors family from radar warning, ESM, electromagnetic support measurements, and SIGIN, signal intelligence product lines, such as well-known Italian ELT group, North American L3 Harris, Canadians, Telemus, and finally Swedish Saab Defense. We're gonna be breaking all of these down. Okay, finally, a summary of important features of all alien systems. Can you guess what it is so far? Oh, tricky to say. We will check it. We will go through it. Well, we will talk about data collection, detection, and signal processing. That's quite important. And just a quick remark here: electronic warfare for you team is planning to release a separated course only for data collection, processing since it is a critical feature, high demanded feature for all alien missions, and therefore it implies complex concept. Nevertheless, within this core, a complete explanation has been provided for the purpose of understanding the full electronic intelligence course. But just keep it in mind that we will release a separated one, okay? Just keep it in mind. So by definition, we could say that electronic intelligence sensors and equipments represent the eyes and ears for any electronic warfare and thus electronic intelligence context. As explained, it is meant for interception, detection, and analysis of electromagnetic signals emitted by various sources, including unknown and adversaries radar signals. In the following slides, we will break down common ELINT platform technologies, pros and cons. Moreover, I would kindly recommend you checking again our previous course, okay, Ultimate Electronic Warfare course, since we dived way deeper in all type of platforms, including airborne, ground stations, submarines, naval, and obviously providing architectures, topologies, real products, data sheets, and also our own sensors, location guessing. As you know, typically this kind of information is quite confidential, but the exercise we did was to guess where are the sensors located based on real knowledge, based on solid background. So I will kindly recommend you go and check this course. Let me quickly, guys, just show you what I mean. I need to find. We go back to. Let me show you. Boom, boom. If we go back to the course in Udemy, we can find some. There we go. You can see here the specific section number 5. We have subsystem and architecture. So here you will be able to see different airborne. We took our gas. Have a look here. Different architectures. Okay. that we guessed based on, as I said before, solid background and experience in this field. If we want to check what is going on with in the naval context, we also took some guesses. What is there? What is here? And submarines as well. Quite interesting. We went through different data sheets and yeah, quite interesting topic. So please consider before moving on the electronic intelligence course, please consider having a look into the previous course. Okay. So guys, in order to illustrate a little bit what we referred before, ELINT platforms, let me share here. We have three cool pictures, right? Cool things. Isn't it technology amazing? So from left to right, here on our left, we have some operators, quite focused. If you check on the screen, obviously it's pixeled. They don't want to show confidential data or restricted data. Um, but yeah, I would say this is a quite clear example of how operators are working, what kind of consoles they have, what kind of hardware um, they are using for ELINT purposes. Then in the middle, we have the typical platform that you might have seen from the old time NATO with different sensors, with the typical disk here. This is quite impressive structure. And also, if you zoom in or if you Google some pictures, some close-up picture, you will find different blades, different interferometers, omnidirectional antennas. Interesting platform and well-known platform. And on our right side hand, we have a cool ship, your typical yacht that you might find in Monaco, for example. No, I'm just kidding. But the what I would like to highlight from this platform is look at how many sensors, look at how many masts, look at how many structures holding antennas, arrays. Look at this massive black one. Look at how many radomes. And it's amazing. It's just fascinating how many sensors and how many equipments and how many devices are integrated in one single massive, but one single platform. And moreover, you also have to be aware of the shape of the ship itself. If you see these angles pointing the sky or drastically pointing the water, is to improve the capability of non being detected. So at the end, what you want to have or what you want to avoid, in other words, is to be detected, right? So you need to find a way of reflecting the radar signals in random or different directions to not be detected. So this is quite an interesting concept, so-called stealth, that we will go through. We will discuss about it in some lectures afterwards. Okay, just keep it in mind. Just describing all these cool pictures here. But just keep it in mind. Start thinking about it. This is the goal to start connecting the dots and connecting the concepts and the definition to real world environments and products and platforms. Okay, that's the idea behind the course. More platforms, guys. More platforms. Here we have quite comfortable, I would say, on our left, quite comfortable track. I would call it like that, where the guy is just, well, it looks like he's just using the operator is just using a laptop. We cannot really check with other equipment. I just see some antennas, some devices on top of the car, as expected. But yeah, There's a ground-based station, mobile, obviously. Then in the middle, we have amazing reflectors. Look at this high gain parabolic antennas. Amazing. They look quite Russian, by the way. And then submarines. Submarines are amazing. Look at the size of this thing compared to the people. Wow, this is amazing. And obviously, on top of this mast, you see all these cylinders, all these rounded shapes are basically all the sensors or the electronic intelligence sensors, radar warnings, all missiles, all these kind of sensors and electronic equipment devices. So, as shown in the previous slides, depending on the alien mission environment, several conditions, the main platform used as aircraft base, satellite base, ground station, naval submarine base, all of them providing different pros and cons. As expected from a logical perspective, aircraft such as reconnaissance planes are mobile ELINT collectors, providing flexibility, speed, and adaptability to shifting battlefields. Example, the famous U-2 Dragon Lady and the RC-135 Rivet Joint. Google them, okay? Especially the lady, beautiful. Secondly, satellites orbit Earth and capture signals from space, providing global coverage and persistence. In the contrary to ground stations, which are fixed installations, therefore, one of its advantages is stability and dedicated hardware. Finally, you can guess pros and cons related to navals and submarines. Think about it. What is the endurance of a nuclear powered submarine? Or what about signal free of obstacles on a naval ship radar? What would be your answer? In addition, there are two critical points to be considered when choosing the type of platform. Do we require connectivity with another alien platform in a real time or delay manner? Do we need merging alien data? Obviously, it is not the same operating naval ships. It's not the same operating a naval ship supported by electronic warfare fighters or having an isolated alien ground station far up north in Greenland, right? It's definitely not the same environment, not the same conditions. So we need to differentiate. And now, what about signal encryption? Or even worse, jamming electronic intelligence environment? Are we exposed to jamming? This is something we should know. Therefore, as an example, if I know I will be facing potential Russian disruption equipment, I rather prefer being supported by mobile anti-jamming systems such as ground tracks or airborne fighters in order to increase the chances of fulfilling my electronic intelligence mission. Finally, what about the swap? The so-called size, weight, and power. I cannot imagine a massive 3 meter reflector on a two-seater fighter helicopter. Okay, Lo- logistically, physically, mechanically, that's not possible. You see my point? Or can we expect the same electrical power available from a nuclear power submarine or from a single manpack portable electronic intelligence system? No, this is not going to happen. So the context can be extremely difficult and extremely different. Okay, so there are so many factors to consider when choosing your optimal ELINT system and your optimal ELINT platform. As an example here, we attach a cool YouTube video from Indra Sistemas Spain. Okay, please take your time, have a look. It will illuminate, it will illustrate what we just discussed.